Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dech Teck. I am Dell, and today we're going to talk about my Yargle Glutton of Urborg deck. You can see me in the reflection there. It's in Russian. It has 0 ability, it's just a bunch of flavor text. It is a 9/3 for 4 and 1 black. And this is my Yargle of Come to Bargle deck. The entire reason I haven't switched it out for possibly a better commander, my Starscream Power Hungry, because I like saying that pun. You'll hear it a lot today. You can see, like, I might end up making this a modal deck where I can switch between 2 different commanders. So far, Starscream is in the main deck. He's 3 and a black, more than meets the eye for 2 and a black. On this side, he's flying. You draw a card. If you're the Monarch, target opponent loses 2 life. 1 more creatures deal combat damage to you. Convert Starscream. It becomes Starscream Seeker Leader. Living Metal. I don't know why it's trying to zoom out. Come on, man. I think that's why I had the... There we go. Flying Menace Haste. When Starscream deals combat damage to a player, if there's no Monarch, that player becomes the Monarch. I don't know. I've been thinking about switching it around. I think if I ever get my hand... Oh, bless you. That cat's sneezing. You're playing in the dirt. Stop it. I think the main reason I haven't switched it is I love just saying Yargle have come to Bargle. All my political cards in this deck are called Bargling Chips. It's stupid. It's fun. I've won a few times with this deck. Not as often as you'd think, but enough. But I think if I ever get my hands on the Shattered Glass promo, that super expensive version of this, I'll have to switch it out. But I doubt that'll ever happen. So until then, he's just part of the main deck. He's one of my Bargling Chips. So, excuse me. Kind of break it down. Got some of the creatures here that are Bargling Chips. Rankle Master Pranks. I like to try to bargain with people. Hey, let me hit you. We can both draw a card. We get to lose 1 life. Let me smack you first. Vargoth Blood Sky Sire. Also good Bargling Chips. Like, if you let me hit you, maybe I'll let you search a card. Put on top of your library. You know? Kuwambaj Witches, one of my favorite older cards. Just because it's like a silly fun card to deal damage to somebody, and then they can deal damage to something in the back. It doesn't have to be my stuff, so I can like do damage to somebody, and then they can do something else. But usually they're hitting me back because they're mad. That's fine. One of the newer cards, I was really excited when this got spoiled. This also might become part of the modal commander style for this deck, because it's just a fun ability. If you know anything about Lord of the Rings, what have I got in my pockets from The Hobbit? This is a fun little... I think it's based more on the latter books, not The Hobbit, but for me it's him quizzing with Bilbo in the caves. I just enjoy this card. Hold it still so you guys read. I'm not going to read all that to you, but it's kind of fun. Scandalmonger. Anybody could pay this ability to have somebody discard a card. More often than not, I find I get hit with this, but there is another card. It's kind of fun to put this on. Nixilis, another good bargaining chip, where I kind of try to keep people from searching libraries. We won't have too much fun now, but and we have some graveyard recursion. We got Chainer, one of my favorites. Ink Eyes, another great one. You do have to make combat damage to be able to do it, as well as I believe Nashi does more from top of the library, but still pretty useful. We got everyone's favorite Helldozer, blowing up some lands, and Cryptcast is in here for some mana ramp, be able to cast some of these spells. Some of these are pretty darn expensive, mana wise. So you'll see a few cards like that. They're just here to get me some mana and be able to do it right off the bat. 5 and 2 black. Come on now. But it's a fun little bargaining chip. Let you guys at home read what that does. You try to make some friends, make some enemies. You know. They're all fun ones. Everyone secretly chooses a creature, so fun little removal. Usually if everyone's on the same consensus, Mulder from the X-Files here can help get rid of something that's been bothering people. Another one of my favorite cards. I love the creepy little art on this. But Cruel Entertainment, pretty high costed, but You can see what it does there. Switch people around. I've been thinking about putting Mindslaver in here. I really don't care to control anyone. I like to give them the illusion of democracy. You know what I mean? Scheming Symmetry. Hey, does anyone want to search with me? Maybe if I don't have Obnixus out, somebody might be up for that. We won't talk about the art on that one. Some voting cards. I think there's a new artifact in the Lord of the Rings set I kind of want to put in here, but I don't have a lot of vote cards in here. I might just put it in for fun, but I think I grabbed all of the council cards from Conspiracy because, it's part of the fun of this. It's not really one of the more useful ones. I thought I had them all in a row, but I guess I don't. Another fun little bargaining chip. Pain's Reward. Should be saying bargling chip, but it just sounds silly. I'm gonna go back to saying bargling chips. Good bargling chip. Everyone bid some life. This is a lot of fun too. Choice of Damnations. Have somebody choose a number. I can have them lose that many life or sacrifice all but that many permanents. They pick a big number, they're losing life. They pick a small number, they're sacking. It's a fun little math exercise. Sometimes people pick a good number where I'm not sure what to pick either. Other ones, they don't really read the card and they're having a bad time after. Tyrant's Choice. Another Will of the Council card. You guys read that at home. Council's Dilemma. I should get these all in foil. This one's foil. I pulled it from a pack. The rest of them should be cheap enough. They shouldn't be too hard. I think it'll be the only real updates to this deck that you'll see is me finding new cards that might fit the theme of the deck, but I don't know. I just might foil some of these up because I have a lizard brain, and that means a lot to me for some reason. Curse of the Cabal. 9 and a black, but we'll suspend 2 and 2 black. Get you guys read that at home. That's fun. Usually suspend it. People try to keep it up by sacrificing, but in the end, I just want them to sacrifice stuff, so it doesn't really hurt me too much. Extinction Event. We're getting into some of the board wipes. Again, like Bargling Chip. What should I pick? Evens or odds? Damnation. I don't think you guys need an explanation for that. Excuse me. Decree of Pain. Nice little board wipe here. Really cool art from the Secret Lair. I don't think this needs much of an explanation too. A lot of times if I'm playing like a token deck, it's really helpful to get that cycling so they can't counter it either. They're all my favorite cards in here. Overwhelming Forces. Somebody's getting a little out of hand over there. And I really want to draw some cards. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna blow all your stuff up. Pox. Everybody lose a third of their life, cards, and their creatures, and their lands. Not a lot of fun, but when this comes out, I get a lot of people reading that over and over like, are you kidding me? So I like it. Repaying Kind, 5 and 2 black. If anyone's picking on anyone, even everything out. This could work in a lot of other decks that I play, but this is the only one where I actually want to play this. It's more fun that way. Peer into the Abyss. One of those where I really like the art in this. It's just creepy, unsettling, beautiful art. But hey, does anyone want to draw some cards? We got an Ascend card here. Phone is Hunger. Everybody sack, but hey, if I got the City's Blessing, we're going to sack about half. This card here is probably the crown jewel of the deck so far. I found Court of Ambition. Gives me the Monarchy. And then if I have the Monarchy, everyone loses 6 life once they discard 2 cards. You can see that there's a one if I don't have it. But I'll tell you what, this does work. If I can lock down the board enough, everyone losing 6 life to begin their upkeep. It's gross. I've won a few games with that. It's pretty nice. Price of Knowledge, another unsettling, creepy art that I love. Yeah, help everyone out. Give them maximum hand size. Don't worry what the second half does. You read that on your own, but... And Cunning Rhetoric. Hey, don't swing at me. I'm going to steal some of your stuff. It's a lot of fun, too. What we got here? We got some Evasion. Not of this world. Kind of protect my commander. I don't really know why I want to. Just keep him safe. That's probably one of the cards that might get cut eventually if I get better stuff. But like I said, I might switch to a modal commander with Starscream and Yargle. This will get cut then because Starscream's not big enough. We got a little extra turn action here. I've had this card forever. It just had to be in here. Usually this is part of the mana ramp, I think that's why I put it in the pile. You just an extra turn to do some stuff, get an extra land or two, be able to get some more bargaining chips, but more often than not, people just pay that extra life, pay half their life for me not to have an extra turn. Okay. I'll take that too. Bubbling Muck, just for some mana ramp, late game, if I'm trying to do some shenanigans. Black Market's pretty good if you get down early enough. Add mana. More creatures die. And everyone's favorite, Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual. A little extra mana when I need it. I'm not sure specifically why I picked these two, or it's just I like Tim the Enchanter here. And I really like the foiling on the, what was it, from the vault, we used to call those. I have to justify myself to you. On the next little suite of cards here, some destruction. Got some land destruction with Rain Tears and Befoul. If anyone's doing anything I don't care for. A little spot removal. Got Tragic Slip with the signature. You can't really quite read, but it's morbid. If a creature die, gets -13, -13. I think you guys know what that does. Got a sweet Fatal Push. Got a dope Doomblade. We got a Dismember we won't talk about the art on. We got Malicious Affliction. Sounds like a thrash metal song. Or maybe a band. Malicious Affliction. Hour of Glory. This is a lot of fun. Exile creature if it was a god. I could do some other stuff, but more often than not, it's just helpful to have an exile effect in black, even though it does cost 3 in a black. This is really helpful, and you don't see this too often in decks, but I really like this. Comes out of left field sometimes to help me out when somebody has Indestructible. And another little treasure in here. I picked this deck for this. I don't even want to call it, little star-spangled foil for Saw and a Half. Let you guys at home read that. This is really fun. I have cast this on a few other people's creatures just to kind of mess them up a little bit. But this is more fun to cast on your own stuff. Like if I get a Yargle, I could split them in half and make 2 Yargles. I don't know. It's stupid, but I really like this. It should be in another deck, but heck, I'll leave it in here. Then you got some weird, I don't call them bargling chips, just weirdness that I love putting kind of cards like this in here. Make people tap their stuff down. We have Chaos Wand, where I pay 4, tap it, and reveal cards from somebody's library until I get an instant or sorcery, I believe. I can't speak Russian, but it's just a lot of fun to be able just to do some chaos. I love chaotic cards, and that's one of my favorites. We got Damping Engine, signed by the artist, of course. Has a little, let you guys read that. Be able to shut some stuff down. Crown of Doom, another one of my faves. Cast this, give it to somebody, and then try to incentivize people for attacking somebody else. It's a lot of fun. Another little Bargling Chip. Wishclaw Talisman. I can search for a card, let somebody else search for a card if they want. Usually I only like seeing this whenever I have the Obnixilis out, so kind of incentivize people for taking damage. Got the sweet Arcade Post Jet Medallion for some mana reduction, desperately needed. We got Gauntlet Power and Cage Sun here. Of course, going to choose black, trying to ramp up my mana. And we got some Hexproof goodness. Whoops. A lot of order, don't pay attention to that yet. A little Hexproof goodness. I think this will probably work better when I actually start playing with Starscream, but I like to keep my Yargle on the board, because eventually I do want to try to win by smacking you face with a giant demon frog, right? But speaking of demon frogs, I like to share. I don't mind sharing. Sometimes I'll throw this on Yargle, let everyone have a little Yargle fun, Not too bad. Fire Streaker, of course. Trailblazers, Blue Boots, and Black Blade Reforged, signed by Richard Kane Ferguson. Super nice guy if you haven't gotten a chance to meet him. As well as Christopher Moeller, also really nice. Haven't met the middle guy yet, but we'll get there. Little things to throw on my Yargle or my Starscream. Have a little fun. Try to wrap the game up if we're getting to that point of the day. Not too bad, right? Got some lands to look at. Some of the mana ramp. Terrain Generator. Pretty good early game. Not so good late game when I'm not drawing too many cards. That's the one that might get cut eventually if I find something better. We got Cabal Stronghold and Cabal Coffers. Again, just trying to make some. I talked about how much I don't like this card. I'd rather see Cabal Coffers than this. I don't think I have Urborg in this deck. which doesn't help much, but I do play a lot of swamps. Yeah, I do not have Urborg. I was in with the swamps by accident. Some card draw generation here. Try to help people out. Everyone could draw a card, but they had to discard. The Kokoro, everyone just draws. No ulterior motives there. We got Tyrate Sanctum. Turn my frog into a god. Make him indestructible. Don't worry about it. Same thing with this. Don't worry about playing this. Rogue's Passage. We don't need to talk about that. I like putting these in decks that have high cost of commanders, just because it helps get me at least one more free commander play. With all the removal I have, I don't like you guys having Hexproof and Shroud. Take that away from you. And you know what? Sometimes I don't like people borrowing stuff when I don't allow it. So, Homeward Path. We don't need to talk much more about that. And again, with the removing of the Hexproof, sometimes that's just needed, right? And last but not least, the swamps. I picked this one. I think when this set first came out, Kaladesh, I really liked the swamp art, and I found a dude that had a bunch of the foils. You're not going to see this too often from me. I like to pick different swamps, but this one was a special deck. I had to do a little specialness. I got Suite of Flows. I thought I had an Urborg. I must have another one somewhere. I have to put Urborg in here. So even though I just did the tech deck on this, I'm already going to update it. Some other cards. So it's neat. You got to go through your stuff. Look what you got. Look what you don't got. And what do you want to do with it, you know? But that is my Yargle I've come to Bargle deck. Get down there and look at them. Again, kind of a silly one. This one's probably going to end up being more of a modal commander. You know, when you sit down, you want to play. Which commander you want to play this time? Switch it out. Keeps it fresh. If you build decks like me where you have like a theme where you kind of enjoy playing, you don't want to build another deck with that. So it's fun to switch it out, keep it fresh, keep it interesting, right? But that is that, and this is this. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Yargle? I've been thinking about building a new one, Yargle and Miltani. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, like, subscribe, all that jazz. You made it this far. Appreciate you. And as always, love you. Oh, I know. You say my cat's saying goodbye too. I wasn't saying goodbye to you. I was saying goodbye to the people watching. If anyone's watching at this point. I know you're a sweet little cat, and I love you to death. All right. Love you guys. See you later.